Hey everybody, here we are, week 5, moving right along here. This week our focus will be on looking at how we obtain or achieve reliable quality and safety, and then also managing the use of our healthcare resources. In this regard, healthcare is no different from anywhere else in industry, in the business world. There's always competing resources, right? There's never enough money, there's never enough people, there's never enough time. Okay, so always keep that in mind. One thing I always used to do with my teams when I worked in corporate America was every year we would sit down and we would conduct some annual planning, but we would also complete what was called a stop, start, continue exercise. And the purpose in that was in business, we have a really bad tendency to continue to put stuff on the plate, but we don't take things off the plate. And we see this as new imperatives come down from management where leadership will say, hey, now you need to do this, now you need to do that. And my question back always was, okay, that's fine. What are we going to stop doing? Because there's only so many hours in the day. And when we run out of time, that we increase burnout. So my teams would sit down once a year. We'd go through the list. And we were always real good about coming up with things we needed to start doing. But I would always challenge the teams to say, what are we going to stop doing? And of all those things, what are we going to continue doing and why? And we have to justify it. Again, if we're going to continue doing something, we're not going to keep doing it simply because we've always done it. We need to be able to explain that. All right. And then we'll also talk about this week a little bit around what we call the triple aim. And, this is a pretty basic concept that we, quite frankly, get wrong so often. You guys might not remember, maybe some of you do, years ago, if you looked at the automotive sector, Ford was having a big problem with one of their production lines, specifically the Ford Explorer. And the tires were literally exploding at high speeds, causing a ton of very severe accidents and some fatalities. Ford got sued over it. They ultimately removed the acting CEO, brought in somebody else. But as that happened, one thing that Ford came forward with was what they called their Quality Job One campaign. So they came forward and said at Ford, quality is job one. Okay, so they said they're going to put a renewed emphasis on quality of items that come down the assembly line. What Ford didn't tell you, and I just happened to learn this from somebody that actually worked on the assembly line for the Ford Explorer, they said at the same time that initiative came out, they also sped up the assembly line. Okay, so if I look at the basics of quality, it is inherent that I cannot increase throughput and increase quality at the same time. It's simply not possible. Okay, that would be like telling a surgeon, look, we realize you did this particular procedure in 1 hour and you had great results. Now we want you to be even more cognizant of safety, but we want you to do it in 45 minutes. That doesn't make sense. Okay. So keep that in mind. Big problem in business, happens a lot. We say, yeah, we need to be more careful. We need to have less errors. But what do? We expect the same level of throughput or an increased level of throughput. Okay. So look forward to your discussion for this week, and everybody have a great week.